I'm Jenn.
And I'm Mel.
Welcome to Chokeholds and Chill.
Today's episode is sponsored by Usos Skincare and Limitless Tape.
Okay, everybody, welcome back to Chokeholds and Chill. We're here sitting today with Ron Jarman. He's a black belt under Tom DeBlass. He's running Hero Academy out here in Tamarindo, Costa Rica. Is that what we're saying?
Yes.
Lives where we vacation, and somehow he tries to take Jiu Jitsu seriously. So we have a lot of questions. So let's talk about your origin story, Ron. Tell us as much as you want about where you're from, what you were doing as a kid, and how you landed in Jiu Jitsu.
Yeah, born and raised in Chicago, I guess, out in the suburbs of Chicago. I wrestled a little bit growing up. As far as Jiu Jitsu is concerned, one of my buddies that I actually wrestled with when I was growing up, I was in my 30s. I was super overweight, so I was about 225 pounds, which is about 50 pounds heavier than I walk around
That's
right
a fat
now.
boy.
Yeah, I was a chunky boy for a 5'5" boy. That 225 didn't look good.
Are you only 5'5"?
Yeah, 5'5", 5'6".
Let's go with 5'7".
We'll go 5'7". That's what my Tinder profile says, at least.
There you go. Yeah.
So I had put on a lot of weight. I was drinking a lot and didn't like my job, didn't like my life. And then one of my buddies that I had wrestled with was running Carlson Gracie's gym in Chicago. I had no idea who Carlson Gracie was. I didn't follow jiu-jitsu. I had watched UFC, obviously, but I didn't have any idea what it was.
Right.
So I just ended up hopping in a session one day and kind of fell in love with it. And then the rest is history, so they say. Like, I kind of became obsessed with it. I competed a ton at white and blue belt, and then started getting hurt around blue belt. Put a pause on the competition. And then as a blue belt, I moved down here to Costa Rica.
Okay, great. So I think when I met you, you were a purple belt still.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. What year did you start training?
Oh, God, I was 32 years old.
A baby still.
Yeah, so I was 32, 33 years old, somewhere around there. I think I'm about 15 years in right now.
Damn.
So whatever year that is, I don't know how to do math.
I don't do math.
Yeah.
My autism doesn't allow numbers. I'm sorry, everybody.
Yeah.
I'm always like, just deal with it. So when you came into jiu-jitsu, what is it that made you fall in love with it?
I mean, obviously, the health benefits of it, and then I had never found anything. I mean, I've tried everything. Like, I've golfed, and, I played every sport growing up. Not so much organized, but, we were just a different generation. We were at the park every single day.
Same.
So, across the street from us was where the park was, and we were either playing baseball, or we were playing football, or we were playing basketball every single day.
Yeah.
So I'd always been involved in sports, but I had never really found, until I started wrestling in high school, I never found a passion, and I fell in love with wrestling. Life kind of took me away from that. I only wrestled for a couple years in high school. Mm-hmm. And then when I did find jiu-jitsu, it was the first time in a long time that I felt something that I felt at home with, and it kind of... Everybody talks about it all the time. It's very cliche, but it's that one thing. Like I said, I wasn't happy with my work life. I wasn't happy with what I was doing in my social life. I was just drinking too much, and it was that one place that I can go, and it kind of calmed all that background noise. When you're at jiu-jitsu, you're present. There's nothing else that you can do.
Nothing matters in that hour or 2 hours.
And it was that one thing that was my reset, and God, I stopped going out on the weekends, so I can go to an open mat. And then it was, I had met my wife around that exact same time. We were only dating for about a year at that point. Okay. So I was finally in a normal, healthy relationship. I was a grown up for once in my life. And then, it just kind of morphed from there to for that first 5 years, I was really obsessed with jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
It was all I did. And it's calmed down since then. I mean, jiu-jitsu is my life now. It's my business. It's my passion. We have the nonprofit. So it's everything to me now. But the competition side and that hard grind for that first 5 years was what really kept me there.
Okay, so you needed the difficulty of it.
Yeah. I wanted the fight. And I grew up
feisty.
I grew up as a bad kid. I didn't have I had the perfect family structure. My parents were great, my mom was great, my dad was great, but I got in trouble a lot. And it's funny because I'm not going to say I was running with the wrong crew, because it was probably mostly my doing growing up. I was the problem, and I got into a ton of fights, and looking back on it, I probably needed some kind of outlet for my energy. And I didn't have that. So once I found jiu-jitsu, even though I was in my 30s, it was that first time that I felt, at peace, that I was getting all that energy out.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of find the same thing. I thought I was never going to start because it's a man's sport, and I am a ballerina. So it's like, hello, absolutely not. But it was the same for me. I definitely felt like, oh, this is just as hard.
Yes.
This is just as difficult for me to do with my body. So I needed that. Was there ever a time that you wanted to quit?
Quit jiu-jitsu? Absolutely not.
Yeah.
I mean, I blew out my first knee as a blue belt.
First knee.
My first knee. My first ACL, I blew it out right after I competed at PANS at blue belt, and I actually did pretty well. The first knee exploded, and I was out for a while, and I remember, it took me 4 months to probably get back on the mat. You're supposed to wait about a year after an ACL. Mm-hmm. I got back after 4 months. I couldn't do much, but I was still there every single day.
Yeah.
I was obsessed. I was just sitting there watching and learning, and it was about that time that we started looking at moving internationally. Mm-hmm. So we had a lot of other stuff going on. I had lost my job at that point. We were kind of looking at different outlets as far as retirement and where we might want to live.
Right.
But never at any point did I consider quitting jiu-jitsu. I mean, it's very different for me at this point.
Sure.
When I look at my jiu-jitsu now, I don't go to class very much. I'll get in there and get a couple rolls. It's more of a social outlet. It's that third space, they call it now.
Yeah.
You have your work, you have your home, and then you need your social outlet, your third space. That's what it is for me now.
Yeah.
And I'm comfortable with that. I'm not competitive anymore.
Well, you say that, but you wrist lock everybody.
That's just to make myself giggle.
I want to know who the first person was that made you think you're bad at jiu-jitsu.
The first person.
Because you always say you're bad.
Yeah, I mean, there's been so many. That list
We're all bad though, right?
That list is very, very long. I remember going into my first few jiu-jitsu classes, and it's the most frustrating thing in the world.
Oh my God. Yeah.
And I think that's kind of what drew me to it. When I went to college, I picked finance as a major, and I am the worst at any kind of mathematical equation you could ever imagine.
Right.
I did it anyways, and I was
do numbers.
Yeah, I was an okay student, but I enjoy that kind of a challenge, and I think that's what jiu-jitsu brought to me. God, I remember. So when I first started, there was a few guys that you just couldn't do anything to, and they would be no name, black belts to anybody else, but you can get in there and to have the feeling, and I was close to 200 pounds at that time, to have the feeling that you can't even move a 140-pound person. Yeah. Is a really frustrating thing. So the laundry list of people that have made me feel like I'm horrible at jiu-jitsu is very long.
It keeps growing. Every camp, day. You're like,
every day.
Like the fake blue belts that came, right? Fake, in quotes, fake blue belts.
Yeah, I was like, there's another person that makes me feel like I don't know jiu-jitsu after 15 years.
And then the kids are getting better, and then they're younger and younger coming out, and you're like, how is this the standard for beginner now?
Yeah. I mean, God, we have people in our gym that have been training for 3 years that I'm just they just picked it up and they're just amazing at jiu-jitsu, and it's a very humbling thing.
Your gym offers an interesting opportunity for the local kids and adults, though, right?
Yeah.
The adults that live here, they have the opportunity to train with professional athletes most of the time if they choose to.
Yeah.
Along with being taught by the coach that's training with all of these athletes at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, it's a crazy thing here for the locals, and it's so funny because most of them have never trained before, so they don't understand what they get.
They don't.
Yeah, so for them to get an exposure to, top-level grapplers and, competitors and UFC fighters and the best coaches in the world, I don't think they understand quite what it is. It's like I've trained at a lot of different schools, and what we offer here just isn't the same as what's out there. So we're in a very fortunate position.
Yeah, you guys are in a really unique position. Yeah. You're currently under Tom DeBlass.
Correct.
How did that come to be? When did you start training under him?
So Tom's been coming down here for probably over 20 years. So
fantastic.
Far before Tamarindo had existed or anything like that, he was doing retreats down here, and then he would just come down for vacation as well. Nice. So he was coming down for vacation. Rome and Lola and Jared were the ones that started Hero Academy. Sure. This was the early days. I was still a blue belt. Right after I moved here, I was probably 6 months in town, and Tom had come into town, and he's like, why don't you guys come out, have dinner with us, and we'll talk. And it was me and Rome. Okay. And then I think Jason was there also, one of the other early coaches.
Nice.
And Tom's like, you guys should really affiliate it underneath me. Like, he loved the kids program, he loved the charity aspect of it, and he wanted us to kind of come underneath him. And him and Rome actually did that deal, and then I inherited Tom, and Tom and I have become really good friends over the last few years since then.
Yeah. So did he promote you to purple?
No. Oh. So I'm in a unique position where I think I've gotten almost every belt except for my brown and my black from different
Interesting.
coaches. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I got my blue from Carlson Gracie. We had another affiliation down here for maybe 6 months from Chino Ramirez, who's a black belt, Guatemalan black belt. So he promoted me to purple, and then Tom for brown and black.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so I guess that changes my next question. I was going to ask like the biggest non-technical thing that Tom's drilled into you, but he's come along towards the end of your career. So instead of Tom drilling, what's the most non-technical thing about jiu-jitsu that a coach has given you?
I mean, I don't even know if it would be from a coach. Like, honestly, the kids program is probably the craziest thing that's ever come out of jiu-jitsu for me. I always like to have some kind of volunteer aspect of my life. Like when I was in Chicago, like I worked for the Red Cross.
Okay.
So I've always had something like that. When Rome and Lola and Jared started this kids program here, I really saw, outside of jiu-jitsu, how you can impact other people's lives.
Yeah.
Especially for these kids out here. Tamarindo's beautiful. It has all these expensive houses, and it has all this expensive restaurants and tourism.
It's
but
fancy.
Yeah, the kids out here, the average wage in a household is like $1,000. So to give them just an organized sport, like these kids have soccer and that's it.
Yeah.
To give them an organized sport where they have their own uniform, like you should see like what that joy that brings to them when they earn their own uniform, and morphing jiu-jitsu into that, non-profit aspect and what they did here in the early days, and then Holly and I and Jason and Nacho, and I mean, there's been a million people through the doors that have kind of helped out over that time. That's probably the biggest non-technical jiu-jitsu thing that I've seen.
Do you want to elaborate a little bit on how the kids program works out here?
Sure. So Hero Academy was founded in 2016 by Rome, Lola, and Jared. So Rome Za, Lola Drinker, and Jared Ports. So Martha's daughter, who you guys have met Martha before, and I'll tell her origin story a little bit. Martha's daughter, Odali's, was being bullied at school. Okay. Jared and Rome had started they started Hero Academy in a different location. And when they started Hero Academy, Martha was the caregiver of Rome's kids. She said, hey, my daughter's being bullied at school. I heard martial arts is good for, confidence and all that stuff. Can she come and train with you? They said, absolutely. So she came in, she started training, and then she started bringing in her friends. And, sooner or later, they had 20 kids training. The kids locally train absolutely free. We don't charge any of our local kids. We do ask that they give back to the community, so we do beach cleanups. And
that's cool.
Yeah, we have them clean up the local community. We have them volunteer with the younger kids, so we ask that they give back in some respect.
Sure.
Then we got involved with another charity in the area, Sepia. So Sepia is the biggest charity in Costa Rica.
Okay.
They deal with a lot of low-income families, and then families where there's some kind of issue in the home, whether it be drug abuse, alcohol abuse, spousal abuse.
Okay.
So Sepia stepped in because one of the people that used to train with us was the president of Sepia at the time. So they started busing in the kids from the surrounding communities.
Wow.
So that's when it really blew up. And that was basically right after COVID, when Holly and I took over full time, is they started bringing in a busload of kids to every class. So we would have an extra 25 kids in every class.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so all those kids, like I said, they train free, and then the retreats is basically just how we pay for our nonprofit program now.
To fund those.
Yeah.
The kids that train here are... I hardly ever go to the kids' classes because I'm like the worst, right?
Yeah.
But actually, it's because they're all bigger than me, and they can all beat me up.
They beat me up now.
They'll beat me up. But I think like when they come up to the hilltop, and like I've seen these kids over the past 5 years now. I think I'm on. Yeah, damn. And so I like see them start to grow and change into like these little athletes, but they're always fun,
yes,
and respectful,
yes,
and they always make an effort. Like, there's such a language barrier. I speak like very little Spanish.
Right.
I can say like hola.
They're trying, yeah.
They really are, and they are so, especially like the teens, they really want to be like a part of this community, not just the gym, but the campers too.
Yeah.
And I think that's just really cool because to me, like, that's what jiu-jitsu is about, right? Is
For
the
sure.
community
It's
and
the
building
it's
it.
the camaraderie, yeah.
And I think that you're doing a wonderful job. Not just you, but everybody involved with Hero is doing such a great job on
Thank you.
You're helping to raise the community of kids.
Yeah.
You're giving them something that they can't get at home, especially if there's something that they're struggling or a parent is struggling with. That's a big missing piece. And I just really want to commend you guys on that aspect specifically because I've seen it and I know everybody else does. And you walk around town and everybody knows who you are.
Yeah, for sure.
But that's because of all of the things that you do for the community.
Yeah, I mean, it's been such an eye-opening experience for me too. Like, especially when you look at these kids, and you know, I've been in their homes. Like, I know what their family life is like, and for them to put on a happy face and come to the gym and want to learn and be around their friends. You know, even if outside of jiu-jitsu, I don't care if they're the worst.
They be them. Yeah,
they could be the worst person in jiu-jitsu ever and not learn anything. Like, if they have a little bit of an outlet, you know, for an hour a day or you know, 2 hours a week to kind of come and get away from whatever they have to escape, you know, like we've all. We're all escaping something. Yeah, we're all running from something. Yes. So if they can have that little bit of an outlet and become better people, being around better mentors than they might have in their normal life, like that's worth it for me.
You're providing an opportunity for a better life,
Exactly.
even if the financial aspect doesn't change.
For sure,
the emotional side of things can be better
and just
for
them to see that there is a different life. You know, unfortunately, like I said, this is a very poor community. Most of the families make about $1,000 a month for a family.
Do you want to talk about what the rent is like, just for?
Yeah. So, I mean,
what it costs to live here?
We've definitely been gentrified, especially since 2020. And like to live here in town, like you can't get anything for under $2,000 a month.
Yeah. So 50% of their income, or the
200% of their 200% of their income.
See, I don't do numbers.
Yeah. So there's no way that they could ever possibly afford to live in town. They call it Tamarindo. You know, it's a tourist destination.
100%.
There's nobody local that lives here. Everybody lives outside of town, and that's why we have to bus in all the kids. But it's a crazy expensive, and everything's expensive. The groceries are expensive. You know, the restaurants are expensive. We did something with the kids to where we took them to a dodgeball tournament not too long ago. It was a couple years ago. And the grand prize was to go to like a burger joint here in town, which would be like, you know, an everyday experience for all of us. Once they heard that they got to go to a restaurant, they destroyed everybody on that dodgeball tournament to the point that I felt bad.
But did you feel bad, or were you like a little proud dad there?
Well, I mean, honestly, Holly and I were crying. Like, once we figured out what was happening, they're like, we get to go have hamburgers like in a restaurant. And I was like, yeah, Holly and I are like trying not to cry in front of them. And it was funny because we had put two teams in, and we had like our A team and our B team. And then all the other teams that they went against were adults, and they were just murdering these adult teams. And then the B team was like, oh, we're just going to get like the second prize with just t-shirts. I was like, no, guys, we're like all going out. Yeah, everyone's going to the burger place. And Holly's like, just pay, just order whatever you want. Like, I have
everything is covered.
Yeah.
What a cool day for them too. Yeah. She's told me that story before, and she was saying they got milkshakes and things like that. And it was like the whole I mean, my kids growing up, it was like you get a McDonald's milkshake and it was a treat. So I can't imagine like not ever having the opportunity to do that and then go to like a nice restaurant with burgers and shakes and stuff. And for people who haven't been here, it's pretty fancy.
Yeah,
it's
a fancy place that we live in. Yeah, it
is definitely. I want to go back to getting your black belt a little bit.
Cool.
What was that like for you?
I mean,
because I know you knew it was coming.
I knew it was coming, and I actually turned it down a couple times.
You did? Okay, let's talk about that.
So I'm under Tom. Tom and I have become really good friends. Obviously, he has buddies over bullies. So he has a nonprofit as well where he works with bullying. You know, you kind of have that self-doubt. You kind of have that imposter syndrome.
Oh, yeah.
I felt pretty good as the brown belt.
Yeah, I'm happy where I'm sitting.
You know, I'm a competitive guy, and I know where I stand. You know, I'm getting older. I'm pushing 50 years old now. So it's like, I got my black belt 2 years ago, and he had approached me the first time about it and was like, okay, been at Brown for a couple years now. I think it's probably time we move you up. And I was like, I don't know if I'm ready. And he's like, look, you're not like a competitor. Like,
Right.
you are what you are. You put in your time, and like you're doing something very special within jiu-jitsu. So
Yes.
he's like, you deserve it.
And your jiu-jitsu is good.
Yeah,
Even
it's
if you don't think it is.
solid C-.
I can't get anything at all. And we're like the same size. Now that we're talking actual height.
So like he kind of forced it on me at one point or another. He's like, look, I'm gonna give you the black belt. Like
Yeah.
he's like, you deserve it. It's time. Like you don't have to worry about your jiu-jitsu, where you are as far as your jiu-jitsu journey and who you can beat. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not the competitor guy that I was when I started.
Exactly.
So, so he definitely like pushed me in that path.
Mm-hmm. Do you feel like when you got your black belt, you kind of just started over with jiu-jitsu? Like you started to learn?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's crazy, especially coming down for the camps. Like, before I came down here, I had a traditional school and I wouldn't train anywhere else. And it was like very Croatia, and it was like, it was a Brazilian school, so it's like you didn't train with another school.
Yeah.
So you didn't get an exposure to a lot of different instructors. But God, we have a new instructor down here every 2 weeks, and it's like the best of the best as far as competitors and instructors and whoever else you might bring down here. So for me to see all these different things, it's so funny to me because when I go back, I was like, oh, I saw that 10 years ago and I didn't get it.
Right.
And now it's like the
Now it
one
works.
detail. It's like now I'm in my journey in a place that I've seen it enough, and I understand like the body mechanics of enough to where it can actually work back into my game. So to have that exposure from all these different coaches is
Pretty huge.
amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, I got a truck reversal the other day in
Nice.
sparring on like
Yeah.
the big guy who kicks my ass all the time, and I was like, oh, I did learn that, and now I know how to do it. But I learned it 3 years ago here from Chewy, and we're going over it again this week, and I'm still like picking up details from it.
And you hear black belts say that all the time at the camps. They're like, oh, I saw that a long time ago, and I never got it. And I mean, I was training with Henry Akins a couple weeks ago. And he showed me one of the simplest things in the world, and I'd be like, I'm an idiot, and I don't know like why I've done that wrong for 15 years now.
But is it wrong, or is it the way you learned it, and now we know different,
now
right?
you just have to fix it,
Yeah, and I think that's a big part of jiu-jitsu. Did anything change after you got that belt? Did anything
click or anything?
Or like as far as like maybe like the way that people talk to you, the way that people approach you, the number of people that come out of the woodwork asking to come down for the camp or whatever. Like,
I mean, of course, there's always going to be that, and like, oh, you're a jiu-jitsu black belt now. And for me, I mean, nothing really changed. It puts a little bit of more of a bullseye on your back.
Oh my God,
sometimes.
right?
I'm the black belt that people can tap, so they come after me.
They come after you, yeah. Well, I'll keep that in mind for next time I come down here. I'll try to tap you. We didn't roll this time, did we?
I don't think so.
I don't think we did. I avoided all large people because I almost got hurt day one, and I was like, I'm calling you a large person.
That's enough. That's enough. I did say I'm 5'5", right?
Yes. I know, like we're not, like you're Jesse's size basically. He's a little bit taller, but you guys are like same size person. And he's my main training partner at home, so I'm definitely used to that like body stature and stuff. But
we call it thick.
I like to be thick myself. I hire a trainer to be thick. Otherwise, I'm like this skinny twig or very fluffy. Why did you guys choose the name Hero? Where did that come from?
That was actually Rome and Lola, so I couldn't speak to it. But I think that when they started, they were basically trying to build the heroes of the community. So we wanted to basically put a mentorship program in place to where, these kids that don't have a lot can kind of be the mentors for the next generation coming up, and that's exactly what's happening.
It is exactly what's happening. It's very, very apparent.
Yeah, so when you look at like our first student, O'Dolly's, that we mentioned, Marta works for the gym now, but she's from Nicaragua and had very humble beginnings. Now O'Dolly's is actually in university to become an architect. So for us to see...
That's huge. I have chills right now because I was going to ask where she is. I didn't see her this trip. So.
She's in San Jose. She's in architecture school, so she's in year 2 now, I believe.
Wow.
And so she's going to university. She's going to be an architect. Her other son, Osmin, is going to be an electrician, so he's in trade school right now.
Amazing.
So it's really cool for us to see like those success stories. And I mean... it happens across the board, and whether we get these kids in the program for 5 years or 5 months, like just to have that little bit of time with them and to see them as people. It's a small town here, so I see these kids all the time. And it's always a good experience. They loved Hero. They loved their experience there, so we're very happy to give that to them.
And I've never heard any of the kids or really anybody have like a bad experience here.
No, I mean,
everybody's always happy.
Yeah, we didn't build it to be a traditional school. Like I said, it's more of like an after-school program, and we want the kids to have a great experience when they come here, no matter what. And it's very important. Like the coaches that you put in those positions, they need to be friendly yet firm. Like some of these kids don't have any discipline in their life whatsoever.
Right.
So it's difficult when they come in and they have a broken family structure, or a single mom that's always working and trying her best. But
they're raising themselves.
Yeah, but like maybe they have some behavioral issues or no discipline whatsoever. So to be able to have that disconnection and be like, okay, like here's your discipline. Like you need to be able to, take orders and be a good human and be good towards people, but also the love. Like we love you, and this is why we're doing it for you.
Yeah, yeah. And you guys don't come in with like a very aggressive teaching style. I've taken class from Nacho, and I think he's like one of the best teachers I've ever had, ever. Yeah. And it's so fortunate for you guys to be able to offer that to the kids too, is somebody that just is, he's so chill and so like positive, but he's tough.
Yeah.
And you could tell like he really cares about the kids,
of course,
but they're not getting away with anything.
Yes.
It's like so good.
Yeah, I mean it's so funny to us because I remember I talk to people that have schools all the time, and like our kids program is anywhere from like 100 to 150 kids at all times. So we have typically 1 or 2 instructors for 30 or 35 kids class, and like.
Well, that's a lot.
Yeah, so like people come down here and be like, "How do you handle a class with 30 kids?" And I was like, "We could do it with 1 instructor." Like these kids, for the most part, they listen really well. Like, I don't know if it's the iPhones or the iPads or the video games or whatever it is, but like these kids don't have access to those things down here. So they still have attention spans. They still can talk to adults. They still are very formal. And like when we do have kids that come in with behavioral issues, it's not like anything I see in the States. It's just a different place.
And what would you like give an example of like a behavioral issue that happens that you see in the gym with a new kid?
I mean, we have kids that are outwardly aggressive.
Okay.
I mean, that's probably our biggest one that we see. Like
they don't know how to control that emotion.
They just don't. They've never been in a situation to where they've had discipline before, and they have some kind of issue at home. Like I said, we have a lot of kids with some nasty shit happening that's going on at home, and the stuff that they're going through, they're going to bring wherever they go. Yeah. So for them to have somebody tell them, like, look, this isn't acceptable. Yeah. This is what we're doing right now, and then we're going to move forward from it. Yeah. And, they just need to be present, and they don't have that anywhere else. So for them to be able to have a little bit of exposure to martial arts and discipline is all the things in the world. Yeah.
I think that's really important, too. I find we have a community where I'm at where there's a lot of broken homes,
for sure,
3rd, 4th generation drug addiction, a lot of domestic violence, and we don't have the privilege of seeing these kids' home lives. Right. I'm like shooting darts in the dark, trying to be like, okay, this kid is like smashing, like standing in line and like has to like be touching everybody and like can't keep their hands to themselves, and so I'm like puzzling, like, does it make you feel good when somebody's really close to you? Does that make you feel better? Yes. Okay, well, this person is feeling uncomfortable, so you have to back off a little bit. Yeah. And just learning those kind of boundaries, or they're just naughty. And I'm like, you're not allowed to hit.
Stop punching people in the face.
Yes, we had that the other day, and I was like, you can't play the game. And he was like, this isn't fair. And he was like sobbing, and I was like,
sometimes
you close your fist and punch somebody. Like, we care about you. And the mom was great. She got it. But that's a lot of, so I guess it's similar, like the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, we talked a little bit earlier about it, and I'll share my family history. And but we were talking about it this morning on the mats. Like, like I said, I had a pretty amazing immediate family growing up. Like, my mother was great, my father was great, my sister's great. They escaped and kind of broke that cycle of the family drug addiction and all that stuff. Like,
good for them.
My mom had 6 brothers. They all died of drug overdoses. And so, and then it kind of leaked into my generation a little bit, and my first cousins and everything. So I've seen what drug and alcohol abuse has done my entire life. Like I grew up with it, and my parents really protected me, but like it was always in the peripheral.
Right.
There was always a cousin or an uncle or something that had a problem, and you always saw it. So like I know what these kids are going through. Like, and it's a tough thing to see and to deal with, and to give them an outlet to where they don't have to deal with that is a big deal.
It's a gift.
Yeah.
It really is a gift. I think that's probably one of the things that society as a whole is lacking right now, is the gift of time listening and understanding to a kid who has nothing like that and doesn't know what the fuck is going on, and nobody's paying attention to them, and all they live is in this turmoil of chaos of who's getting arrested, who's in the hospital, who's having a fight, and it's like, what do you do?
Yeah,
I mean, keep going.
We live in an interesting time as far as what's going on in the world, and we need more. We need more things like martial arts and jiu-jitsu, and you know those third places where there's just love. You know, it's not like, I don't mean to sound all soft, but it's like we need a place where we can share passion and you know, arts and all those kind of things versus what we're dealing with in the world every day.
Well, that's why we train, right? We're all trying to get away, like we said. I think there is a lot of room in jiu-jitsu for love and for compassion and for having a big heart. I think that's part of why a lot of us keep coming back, is for those kind of feelings that, like, you might not get it at home, but you know you can get all your aggression out, and then you're going to hug it out at the end of the day, and you and your buddy are going to play dodgeball at the end of this and, like, destroy your coach, right?
I mean, it's such a crazy thing to me, especially like this camp that we just ended up here. So origin story on this camp is that I met Justin when he was doing this camp down in Nosara before I had even come to Hero, before I had done any retreats in my life. This camp is typically big, large, burly men from Kentucky and Tennessee. And it is the most welcoming group that I've ever seen in my life.
Honestly,
And it's full of love and, like, the best belly laughs that you can ever imagine in your life. And, like, I mean, I remember one year we were approached. We were only doing a few retreats every year. And somebody had reached out to me, and it was like, hey, I have this association. It's for openly gay people within jiu-jitsu. Do you think that we can come to this camp in January? And I had trained with these guys. I had trained with Chewy and Sean and all these guys before, and I'd be like, actually, that's the best camp that you could ever imagine coming to.
You're going to get some jokes because everybody does, but
but
you're welcome, and we love you.
You see, it's like those people have come back year after year, and it's like they're part of the family now. It's just like there's nothing else. Like there's no political, like, people just don't bring that shit into the gym, you know?
No,
it's like,
they don't. Even when it walks in the door, they don't bring it.
They don't even care. Nobody fucking cares.
Just keep going. That's the other part too. I think is so important. Is like I always call Hero like my second home gym. Like I think I train here just as much as I train at home, and it's always. I've been to several camps that you guys have had down here. The Chewy and Sean and a couple Josh Hanger camps, and then Seth Smith and Adam Medioun, and all of those groups of people have been wonderful. I mean, there's always a strange seed here and there.
There's strange people everywhere.
Everywhere.
I mean, and to your credit, and I talk about this almost in every camp that we talk about, but I remember a few years ago, I think 3 years back, was the first time that I ever went to Master Worlds. And I get a little choked up when I tell the story.
Tell the story.
So my dog had just passed, and I had to escape town a little bit, and everybody was in Vegas. So I was like, oh, we'll go to Vegas, and then we'll kind of just get away from town a little bit.
Take a break.
Take a break and take a breath. And it was you guys. So you and Jesse, and then PJ and Kelly, which you guys are all staying in the same apartment.
We're sitting
you guys
in
are basically family right now.
Yes.
But I remember when I went to Master Worlds, there was a group of people that were not from the same affiliation, didn't have the same coaches, but you guys were all following each other around and coaching each other for matches. And it was like our hero group, It was like all the people that had been to camps together before. And like to see what you guys had built, outside of Hero is really beautiful for me.
And I think, now I'm going to get choked up.
Now that I'm done crying.
That's why it's the second home gym. Because it really is, like, every time I come down here, like, I have my homies that I see and I meet, and I'm, rolling with these people and training with everybody. But then I always meet somebody else, and it's like they just add to the little bag of like my jiu-jitsu life.
Dysfunctional family.
For sure. Like I know I'm gonna run into somebody in Vegas, and like you're gonna see people. I think on that trip we even picked up a spare that we never met before.
Just a random person.
He was like coming to the camp and was like, is anybody in Vegas? And my big mouth is like, yeah, we're all here. And it was great. But having a new person that we never met and like, we're pretty tight.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's kind of like a hard, like, but he hung in there. He's great.
I mean, people always kind of tag on, and it's something very special about these retreats. And I'm not saying it's only a Hero Academy, but like, something about this experience and coming to a foreign country or even across the country and going and training with a bunch of people that you don't know, and having that bonding experience of being on vacation too, and going to the beach and going out to dinner, and sharing experiences outside of jiu-jitsu with each other that really grows and bonds friendships. Like after these camps, I always see people like, oh, we met at this camp and now I just traveled across the country to go train in their gym. And there's a very special like X factor to the camps that is that in those relationships that build off of it.
And I know everybody's, trying to meet up, and the group chat for this camp goes 365 days a year.
Typically, at least 100 messages a day. Like
you have to put it on mute for a while. But like this year, like there's so much FOMO because everybody that's missing the group, missing the camp, is in the chat having a meltdown.
Yes.
So what's the hardest part about owning this gym that nobody told you about?
I mean, so we're in a really small community. So Hero Academy, we might have 20 to 30 adults. Like I said, the kids don't pay. 20 to 30 adults. We have a staff. Like when we bought this thing, we bought it, I think it was March 16th of 2020. We got shut down 3 weeks later.
Oh my God.
And had to pay all those bills for a year. So, I mean, luckily we were fortunate enough. We were retired. We were in the position that we could afford it. But this gym would not live if it wasn't for the retreats. The gym itself loses $2,000 a month, so it's like financially it's a drain, but like that's fine. Finances are finances. Like I figured that part out with the retreats. Dealing with people in the adults program is always going to be a challenge. The kids you can kind of mold and form, and kids are innocent, and kids are good. Adults always have some kind of ulterior motive typically, and they are who they are. Most people that come to us have trained in the past, so we're always dealing with that, and building that like camaraderie and that actual home team has always been the most challenging part for me, and making sure that like our gym is safe, anybody can step in and train, and that we have a good vibe going. And like Nacho has really led up that, like you said, he's just like a surf dude. Like he just is super chill. And we want to keep our gym welcoming to all the people that come in for retreats, and then all of our visitors and all that kind of stuff. So keeping that core group and that family has obviously been the most challenging. I imagine so, especially when there's so much coming and going. I mean, it's a transient community.
It's a tropical community.
Exactly.
We lived in Hawaii, and it was the same thing. Like everybody comes for a season, and then they're gone, and you never see them again, and you're like, well, what about so and so? So
and it's funny because you love these people, and they come into town and they start training with you, and then they're like, oh, I can't afford it here, or or life beckons you back to the States,
you're going
or whatever.
Home.
Exactly.
Or for whatever reason, you just get picked up.
Exactly. Or you have to leave unexpectedly.
That's a fact. So why do you think that some people stay here for years and others just go away?
I mean, it is paradise. Like when it comes down to it, with all the challenges and everything like that, there's not many places in the world. Like you said, you lived in Hawaii for a while. There's not a lot of places in the world that can give you, this kind of weather, this kind of environment. Like the people here are so warm and welcoming and beautiful, and you don't get. I mean, when I left the States, I was a 24/7 news guy. Like, it was always on in my house. I have not turned on the news in 9 years since I've been here. Like, I gave it up, and it was toxic, and now I see it.
It's so bad.
To be able to come here and not have everybody talking about politics. Like, when I go back, it's a different world. So, I mean, it is paradise in that regard, and, like, the people is what made me stay here, of course.
I think it's always the people. What do you wish that the young kids understood about this training opportunity?
I mean, I don't think they'll ever get it. Like, there's just no jiu-jitsu in Costa Rica for the most part. For them to get exposure to the kind of talent and the coaches that they do is incredible. Like, in the training aspect, fantastic. You know, like they're never going to be able to understand what they had when they were younger. But like I said, I'm just trying to create a space where they can kind of come and be themselves for a couple hours a week. And that's the most important part for me. So if they learn jiu-jitsu in the meantime, great.
Or maybe they'll become an architect.
Exactly. Or if they come and train with us for 6 months and then walk away and are a little bit better of a human and treat people a little bit better, then that's worth it.
I think that's the goal of all of it, right? Like,
for sure.
We come to the mats to get rid of some of our baggage and hope that at the end of the day, we've healed ourselves a little bit and can just be a better human. Yeah, I mean, Chewy had a little speech that he gave at this camp about jiu-jitsu being a mirror. And it really, like, those first few months where you're training, like, whatever shit you have, like, you have to deal with it or you have to walk away. Yeah. Have you had any experiences with like aggressive, like people who didn't realize that they were going to be aggressive? Oh, yeah. I've been like straight punched in the face by a chick before. I'm like, what the fuck? And then she broke down crying and said, I don't think I'm ready to be here yet. Yeah. So we had one story that I'll tell real quick. We had a guy come in and he was a bigger guy. He was probably 250, 6'3". First class ever, and we have changed our program for newcomers. Like we have a conversation now before, but he's just like, oh, I wanted to train. I saw him out afterwards. He was acting funny during the session, and he was kept walking outside, like almost like having a panic attack. Like I could see that something was wrong. Yeah. And I was out to dinner one night. He was having a beer at the bar, and he came up to me, and he's like, hey, I just want to let you know, like, combat veteran, EOD guy, had some really bad PTSD. Yeah. And he's just like, something about that and the proximity, like, really triggered me. More than fair. He's like, I was having some issues, and he's like, I really thank you guys for walking me through it and everything, but, like, I mean, he was ready to fucking beat the shit out of him. Right, absolutely. And he doesn't understand what's going on in his own body. Yes. And, he's trying to figure it out for himself. But, and I mean, you have, like, there's a lot of sexual assault down here. And, even for children, and, like, we usually get a heads up about that kind of stuff before they come into the program. Yeah. And we handle that with kid gloves. But, like, there's so many things that you see that people go through that when they come into something like this, it is a mirror. And you could see that they're trying to work through it and they're here for a reason. Yeah. So you just try to, point them in the best path possible. Yeah. I've definitely, like, laid on the mat, with a kid before and, like, been like, you are okay. Look at my face. Yeah. They're in your mount. We're going to work an escape. Yeah. Like, it's going to be okay. Yeah. As, like, you can see with, I'm like, I'm ready to yank the other kid off. Yes. Like, okay, they can't take it anymore. Like, you got to move. But when they work through it, and then they're like, oh my God, I did it. Yeah. Let's do it again. And they're like, it wasn't a thing. Like, and that's when they figure out that breakthrough and that, like, no one's going to hurt them. Yes. The tap is approved. Like, everybody taps. It's okay. Yeah. So tell me about some red flags that you've learned to spot early. Aggression for the most part, like if they're not with the kids, like the kids we can always work with. Sure. Like when we get adults in here that have outward aggression that are here to win, like I tell people all the time, you're on vacation. Like we're not training for the worlds anymore. Like, this is a place that you can come, learn some jiu-jitsu, meet some friends, and kind of go through it. Yeah. As far as like like I said, that gym family that we're trying to build locally, we've had plenty of people that we've kicked out. Like we've probably in the last 6 years, like we've had to kick out 5 different people that were upper belts. Yeah. And it's like if you're not a fit, you're not a fit. Like if you have some issues that you can't leave at home, or whatever it is about jiu-jitsu that triggers you, you can't bring it here. Like we're trying to create like a safe place for people to learn. Yeah. Yeah. I think that's super important. And as far as adults go, it's like, in the U.S. you can't just like run a background check on people, right? You can search a sexual assault or a sexual predator database, but that doesn't mean anything at some point because that's the people that have been caught. Yeah, exactly. Right? So you're always kind of like, it's blind trust a little bit, like you have to, but I also think that's part of learning how to handle your emotions and how to, like, you have to trust somebody in order to start to break down, like, why are they acting the way they're acting? Right. Are they dangerous or do they need help? Yeah, exactly. And it's a fine line. And you really have to learn to trust your own gut and your own instincts. 100%. I mean, it's typically like, Nacho and I have talked about this a couple times, where like within 2 interactions of somebody, like I can tell if
they're somebody that we want in the gym or
Yes.
not.
Yes.
And, you know, sometimes it takes much longer to get to that point, but it's like
You know it might be something that has to be
instantly.
addressed.
Yeah, like
Yes.
trust your instincts and be like, okay, instantly, like I know something's off here.
Yeah.
Like with
Yeah.
this person. And it's like, is it something that we could work through and that they're trying to fix?
Yes.
Or is it something that's deeply embedded and that's an issue that's
And they're
not
just
going
a
to work
bad
out?
person.
Yes, exactly. There's
Yeah.
plenty of people that are just bad people out there.
Yeah, it's true. I think along the lines of like the trust your gut thing, right? Like there's definitely been situations where, you know, you walk into a room and it's like, you're not really comfortable because you're new.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, you know when you get a vibe.
No, for sure.
And when that vibe comes across, I'm always like, I love it when I'm right.
Yeah.
I love it when I'm like, my gut was right again, 100% success rate. And it's like, you know,
And
just
I've
kinda
heard
like,
it, and this may come off as sexist, but I don't think so.
I don't care.
Holly's right way more than I am.
Yeah.
My wife is correct about people way more than I am, and
Yeah.
I think I'm a little bit more trusting, and I want to give people an opportunity. Women have to be on the defense because of other reasons.
Yes, 100%.
You know, and especially like if they have anything in their past that they maybe, you know, have went through.
Yes.
I think that their spidey senses are a little bit better than men.
I think it's a little bit different than men too.
Yeah.
I heard Chewy talk. We were talking about something, and as a woman, it's something that did not cross my mind because I'm always thinking like on the sexual assault side of
Right.
things. But he was talking about like kids that, you know, people that were abused as kids, and like you got beat up or bullied or your parents did it or whatever, and that can like show up with men on the mat. And I was like, that's something I've missed.
Yeah.
I have not. I'm like so tunnel visioned on the women that I forget.
That men
Guys
also
need
get
help
abused.
too. Yeah, exactly. And I think that's something so important that we're just missing the mark on as a whole in jiu-jitsu, is that like everybody's been abused at some point.
Yeah.
And I think we can do a better job somewhere along the way, like you're doing with the kids, with our men, to be like, okay, what you've been through is not okay.
Yeah.
And now it's time to move through that, and then eventually, hopefully past that.
Right.
Which can take decades.
Yeah.
Like, let's be honest.
For sure.
Like, and I
if it ever happens.
If it ever happens,
can,
exactly. And I feel like with PTSD, sometimes I'll be fine.
Yeah.
And then I'm not.
Yeah.
And the moment that I'm not, I really hope that my training partner is somebody that I can just like smack and be like, I need a break.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Yeah.
And they're okay with it. Or like I've rolled with Jesse and like, I don't even know why I had like this crazy panic attack one time. And I was like crying through the round.
Yeah.
But I had to finish.
Yeah.
I was like, please just ignore this. I need to work through this. Otherwise, I'm going to quit and never come back.
I'm just going to cry and then
I'm just going to cry and we're just going to do jiu-jitsu while I cry, and I will figure this out. I think that's something that it takes time
for sure
to process through, and sometimes you don't know that you need to process it until you hit the mat.
Yeah.
Until you're pinned.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden shit comes up. And I think that happens a lot with men.
Yeah.
Is they think that they have to be bravado and macho, and then all of a sudden they're like helpless, and they don't know what to do, and they freak the fuck out.
Yeah. And some people, like you said, are never going to get over that.
No.
But it's like, can you, even if you're not going to get over it, maybe you're going to have that trigger every single time.
Yeah.
Can you get to a point that, you know, it's something that you could work through, or, you know, you never have to get rid of it or heal from it or whatever you want to say, but you have to be able to live with it. That's what it comes
Live
down
with
to.
it, exactly. Yeah, and I think it's important talking about it. I always tell people, like, you might not want to hear my story, but I have to tell my story so that I can heal.
Right.
And I think everybody should have the opportunity when they're ready to tell that story.
For sure.
Hopefully it's not while you're getting rear naked choked for the first time by a large man.
Everybody has their own therapy. This is ours.
Some people like choking. And it's true. So what do you say is a win for you as a coach?
I mean, it's got to be the kids. That's the only... It's not going to be my jiu-jitsu.
Totally.
To be part of Hero and to be part of what's happened out here, and you know what Roman, Lola, and Jared have started, and Jason, and all these people that came before me, and to just be this next chapter in Hero Academy and kind of bring some light to it, and you know, bring some exposure, do something special for these kids in this next generation. That's the biggest thing that outside of jiu-jitsu, it's probably one of my biggest accomplishments in life.
Yeah, I would agree.
Thank you.
I don't know your whole life, but I see this
I haven't
out
done
here.
much before this.
Not yet before this. just wilding around. All right, let's talk about real quick what the future of Hero Academy looks like and what camps we have coming up and what we need to tell people.
I mean, every year is just phenomenal. Like, I talk about this all the time, and it's a lot of people call us. Like, we don't really reach out to a ton of coaches. It's always by word of mouth, or they see something like that. And to be able to get this level of talent down here, we have all of our standbys, and I'm sorry because we have people that call us every year, and I was like, I can't get you in. Like,
I've had people ask me, can you get me in?
I was like, we're booked out for 2 years is typically what I tell everybody, so like I try to do as much as I can. And like I said, I was retired at one point. Now I work full time for this again.
No breaks.
So it's a lot, and we're very fortunate. Like, we have some really high level competitors coming down this year, which we've never done before. So we have Damian Anderson, who is from B Team.
Yes.
And, so that's a really cool one. And then we have Nathan Haddad, who just won that UFC show. So to get them down here and get some active young competitors is really good. And then we have like our standbys and some of the best coaches that are out there. We have Tom DeBlass coming down, Dan Hart, Henry Akins is here next week. We have Roy Dean coming, Hanato Tavares, a 6th degree black belt. So have those kind of guys come down here is amazing. We just launched a giveaway yesterday, so we're going to be giving away 2 spots to one of the upcoming camps.
Excellent.
Yeah, so we'll be pushing that pretty hard, and we want to get as many people down here on the mats and share the mats with us and share our little piece of paradise this next year.
I think if it's something that you've been on the fence about, or you're not really sure what to expect, it's one of the biggest gifts in my life.
Thank you.
It's like to be able to just, I know when I get off that plane, I'm going to sit in 2 hours worth of traffic plus. I don't care.
Just relax.
I don't give a shit. Like, I just want to be here and be a part of it. And, we got to extend our trip by a day this time because of U.S. weather, but.
I mean, it's really cool for me, too, to see, like, you guys have been down here so much. PJ and Kelly have been down here so much. Like, most of the people in this camp have been here 6 or 7 times at this point. And to see the relationships that they've built with people from the gym, locals that live down here outside of Hero, and that people are going out to dinner together and hanging out at the beach together. It's really cool for me to see. It's like it's coming home, It's
it is coming home. We'll go into restaurants now, and the owners will want to sit down, and especially Breaking Bread. Like, he's always like, "What are you guys up to?" Like, he always comes and says hi, and that's nice.
I mean, I lived in Chicago for the last 20 years of my life, and it's such an anonymous living. Like, I lived in a big condo complex with 300 units, and I knew 3 of my neighbors. Like,
the closest ones.
For me to live in a small town that I've never done before, like, I walk anywhere here in town, and it's like I know every person that owns it. And I don't know about that.
You don't want to be, but you are.
It's just a small town, so it's like, I mean, we might have 6,000 people here, so. It's a really cool experience for me. It's like a big family, and it's full of love, and there's not a lot of drama and like the politics and the news and stuff that you see in the States. It's a getaway. It's a decompression out here.
Absolutely. I fully agree. Is there anything else you want to share with us before we go to our rapid fire?
Oh, we're doing a rapid fire. This is going to be exciting.
I bet you'll not be that excited when you see it.
I mean, just come down here, join us in Paradise, guys. All the proceeds from every camp kind of go towards the kids program. We have some plans that we've always had in our back pocket. We would love to make this a permanent fixture in Tamarindo. So we want to buy land. We want to build our own gym. We want to build our own housing so that this lives on no matter what. Like I said, I'm 4th generation of Hero Academy already. So good. So we had the people that started it. We had Jason, and then now we have Nacho, myself, Holly, and Marta. So we want to make sure that this is around for the community for a long time.
It's a good team. All right.
Rapid fire. Let's do it.
Rapid fire. Gi or no gi?
No gi.
Same. Morning or night sessions?
Morning.
Oh, ooh. One thing you refuse to compromise on in the gym?
Safety.
Excellent. Best part of living in Costa Rica?
The weather.
One thing Jiu Jitsu still humbles you with?
Getting my ass kicked.
Favorite shaped pasta?
Oh, that's a good one. Rigatoni.
Oh, yeah. There you go. Everybody says bow tie.
I like a thick pasta. Like, I like a big fat rigatoni.
Yes, it's got to really hold the sauce.
It's my comfort food. That's really the way to go.
It's the best. Okay, that's all my rapid fire I had for you.
Awesome.
I know. Well, actually, that's not true. 2 more.
Okay.
If you had a super fight tomorrow, what would your walkout song be?
Ooh, Tiptoe Through the Tulips by Tiny Tim.
I'm going to use that on your reel.
Let's do it. I love it.
Oh, God. It is going to be stuck in my head all day. I fucking hate that song. And I can picture the video with his hair.
It's amazing.
Anybody who doesn't know it, really
amazing.
Deep dive. Last question. If your best friend had to describe you in 3 words, what would they be?
A little crazy.
There's 3 words. Somebody said hot.
Really?
That was it.
Hot.
Hot, just hot. Okay. I think that is about it. I want to thank you for your time today, and please plan your vacations down to Hero Academy. Any camp will be great. I promise you'll have a wonderful time, and we'll catch you guys next time. Thank you so much, Ron.
All right.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Check us out on Instagram at chokeholdsandchillpod, or shoot us a message at chokeholdsandchillpod@gmail.com.